Next, after an uproar, the Susan G. Komen Foundation reverses course on its decision to cut funding to Planned Parenthood. Hari Srinivasan has our update.
The about face came after 2 days of anger from many women and supporters, and after the breast cancer charity offered two different explanations for its decision. First, Komen leaders said they would cut grants to Planned Parenthood because of a new policy barring money to organizations being investigated by the government. Then yesterday, Komen officials cited concerns over how Planned Parenthood provided mammograms and other follow-up services. This morning, Komen's founder, Nancy Brinker, apologized in a statement, saying, "We have been distressed at the presumption that the changes made to our funding criteria were done for political reasons or to specifically penalize Planned Parenthood. They were not." For more on what happened, we turn to Amina Khan of the Los Angeles Times. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so help put this in perspective a bit more. What did we learn today?
Well, today we learned that Susan G. Komen for the Cure had reversed its decision to prevent any funding going to organizations that have been under any kind of investigation whatsoever. They now say that they will allow funding to go to Planned Parenthood and other organizations so long as any sort of investigation is not conclusive and criminal. So this basically opens the door again for any of the affiliates around the United States to continue to receive funding from their local Komen organizations.
How severe were the past 3 days for the Susan Komen Foundation?
You know, I mean, I don't think that it's something that they really expected, and I don't think it's something that Planned Parenthood expected either. Komen received support from both sides. There were many people praising the decision, and there were many people condemning it. Planned Parenthood, for their part, didn't expect to receive the kind of support that they received on social media, Twitter, Facebook. And, as you know, Cecile Richards, the president of Planned Parenthood Federation of America, put it, it just really caught fire.
How powerful was that social media element of it?
They say that it was pretty powerful. I mean, basically, when you have something like Facebook providing a space for people to tell their own stories, to really lay out why this is important to them, that's something that can be a very, very powerful tool. And Cecile Richards herself says she believes that it wouldn't have caught quite as much attention from the mainstream media had it not been for this big social media push. So they give it a lot of credit.
And at the moment, Planned Parenthood almost came out ahead in this entire event, right?
Yeah, it seems like they've done pretty well for themselves. In the last few days, they have raised somewhere around $3 million, some of it from big donors like Michael Bloomberg and others from, smaller donors. And that's been to an emergency fund that's been set up since Komen said that it would be, or since the announcement came out that Komen would be halting funding to Planned Parenthood, which it's obviously since reversed. But clearly, yeah, they have come out quite a bit ahead. That said, Komen has also, received funds as well, probably from people who supported that initial decision. So it'll be interesting to see, how high their profiles are raised by this. One of the things that Cecile Richards mentioned in a press conference this morning was that she got a call from Lance Armstrong's foundation, Livestrong, and that is someone that they've never been able to work with before. So they're receiving opportunities from places that they had not expected before.
So how strained is the relationship between these two organizations? In part of that conference call, she said that she heard this turnabout like everybody else did. There wasn't a special phone call, there weren't letters back and forth.
I don't know how strained the relationship is. Yes, she did indeed hear it the same way that everyone else did through a release on the internet. And she said at that point in time that she had put a call in but had not heard back yet. That said, I mean, the overall tone is they just want to put this behind them, that they're sort of very relieved and happy to move on, and they just want to go back to their goal of serving women. So right now the tone is very much about building bonds and reforging that and sort of moving on. And I think they attribute that a lot to the very good relationships that they have on the ground with the local affiliates.
All right,
of Komen.
Amina Khan from the Los Angeles Times. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.